Hello everyone. Before we start today's video, if you could all do me a solid and lightly tap the like button, perhaps share the video about and leave a comment. If you are not subscribed, subscribe as well. It would greatly help this channel. Thank you very much. Well, isn't this just fantastic? Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. It appears we have reached the end of 2022, so we must now commence our annual reviews of our dear favourite dainty girls, and we will start with Amberlynn Reid. So part of me is kinda wondering how relevant Amberlynn Reid will be by the time this video goes out on, I think, December the 2nd, considering how popular she once was, to how popular she is around the time that I was recording this. Things have started going downhill for her exponentially, to the point many believe Amberlynn Reid to be very boring. There are others who have distanced themselves from her, and for good reason. It is after all only a matter of time before the same happens to Foodie Beauty, hell even Nikocado, except that man somehow, he manages to keep on prospering. He's a very busy eater, and he's a hungry boy. So to start the year of 2022, Amberlynn Reid, in her very first video, did the following.
So I figured I would show you guys what I got for Christmas from my girlfriend, and then show you guys what I got for her for Christmas. I might actually show you what I got for her first.
Well, I'm certainly starting to understand why people were tuning out of your content. Has anyone even seen Wifey at this point? And I thought you two had broken up. Or was it Wipey? I can't remember.
So the first thing I got for my girlfriend is a gaming chair. Second thing I got her are these joggers. I got her an Adidas sweater. I got her a hat.
Are you just dating Becky 2.0? Or is this Destiny 3.0? If we go back any further, is this KC 5.0?
But she doesn't really wear like girly smells. So after doing tons of research, Valentino. There's also a girl version of this. She's also lost more weight, y'all. She's 13 pounds.
I was always led to believe the healthy weight for a Chihuahua was about 9 pounds at most. But congratulations, Twinkie Star, on your weight loss journey. May it be more successful than your masters.
Okay, so now I'm gonna show what she got from me. She is so thoughtful. Like, as you guys know, I have been highly obsessed with Legos. And there was this one Lego that I've been wanting for a while, but it was kind of sort of $400. And I couldn't really justify getting it currently because I am trying to save money. She got it for me. Oh my god, she's so heavy.
On a normal sized person, that's a full size piano. Now, crappy jokes aside, I have some advice for you. My sister built that very grand piano. There is a Bluetooth device that requires batteries, and that links to an app on your phone, which will then allow you to play it like an actual piano. Have fun with that. But as you can see, by the way, this is why she's no longer as interesting. Without a weight loss journey, people aren't really invested. Oh, and the fact she's hiding her girlfriend, when for years she has used her better half to milk for views and attention, usually because there was a lot of passive-aggressive, submissive dom stuff going on, and people found it fascinating, that and the enabling. So to skip ahead a little, Amberlynn Reid did something I never expected. Amberlynn Reid reached out to the enemy, and this is what happened.
Alright, you guys, so there is my painting. This took me...
But yams, all right, so do we see this? I'll just do it like this. I'll just have my voice over it. Hold up, let's just go. Okay, so you guys can see just fine, right? You guys can see well? So, as you all can see, Amber messaged me, right, on Wednesday evening. And she was like, hey, I just watched your newest video. And when you said lie to the girl in the toaster, I lost my shit. That was so funny. And I sat there and I was like, I'm happy you liked it. And I didn't put no emojis in. So I'm telling the truth. The girl in the toaster. So y'all remember when during the whole trying to figure out if Wifey was there on all stages, there was a shadow in the toaster. One of the little side channels caught it. Like I want to say like Dainty or something. Like one of the little like clip channels, they caught it and they were like memeing about it or whatever. And so I just used it as a joke, right? Because all we saw was the shadow. It could have literally been anything, but it did look like the shadow of like a girl. And we were just like, who is this, right? So then I replied that. And then she replied again yesterday. And this is when I started getting sus. Do you guys see my sus emojis? Like, look at this. this. She's like, I genuinely think you're funny. I gave her the side eye. And then she said, let's collab. And then that's when I gave her the extremely sus face. Okay, that's when I gave her the, okay, now I don't know who the hell she thinks she's talking to face, only because I don't really know which wig she thought that she was addressing on this evening. I know that she's not addressing this wig. That much I do know, okay? And so then I was like, Amber, is this you for real? Like, were you hacked? Because we all remember how Amber mentioned that I've made her feel so horrible. In fact, I actually do still have the clip where she refused to give me an apology for laughing at my fibroids and cyst diagnosis.
A few moments later.
While I also stay consistent, I also stand my ground, and I also hold my own really, really okay. And I'm not afraid of anything. In fact, it's my consistency and me being who I am and how I am that's gotten me this far. It's a lot to say, and there's a lot to be seen, honestly, to be real. With the fact that wait. I don't think that's her because there's no check by her name. That's not the real Amber, I don't think. Wait, that is the real Amber. Now it's a check by her name.
The rest of Callie's livestream involved more receipts and inviting Amberlynn on. Amberlynn did not turn up. Gonna insert this now. It doesn't matter who you have DMs with, please don't livestream them without the explicit permission of the person you're DMing with. Thank you.
Y'all, so yes, the title and the thumbnail are real, and girl, the only reason I am making this video, where I'm making this video for several reasons. I am sus. I am like, I know that some of you may or may not be aware of my history with Amber, even though I mention it all the time on my channel. Watch her block me on Instagram after all that. And if she do, I'm gonna make another video. What's with the change of heart? So I didn't want to give Amber the vibes that I was like, oh yeah. I don't know what the tea is. And I'm real sus. And girl, even as I check my DMs right now, Amber DM'd me again. She replied, she's like, I genuinely find you funny.
Now within the entire video, which I've obviously cropped down to the more interesting parts, sorry Callie, there was a point raised that perhaps Amber's motivations were because of her own diminishing view, something I mentioned right at the start of this month, and it is a point I think holds true now. As far as their interactions go for the rest of January, I do believe Callie gets called disgusting by Amberlynn, so there are more streams on Callie's channel, by all means go watch them. So perhaps we should move on to what else happened in January so that this segment is not as long as Foodie Beauties, because yes, that video's long.
Becky said you guys don't talk anymore for your mental health, which implies that you guys are bad for each other regarding that thoughts. I don't know what that means because Becky and I do talk, so there is some confusion there.
If anyone's been watching Kinda Good, Kinda Beck, you'll understand the context for that. Becky, I believe, is distancing herself at time of recording this. So when people ask questions pertaining to Amber, it is better to distance oneself. Gonna insert this also. Thank you to the intrepid user who very kindly put timestamps on this video. Many people raised many questions concerning, for example, why do you take so much time for your mental health but not so much for your physical health? Or referencing that while you don't talk, Becky took you to the ER. And my personal favourite, the last one. How much binging did you do to gain back all the weight you recently lost? That may well have been the very moment Rich Lux decided to stop being your friend. Hi Rich, love you babe.
How much binging did you do to gain back all the weight you recently lost? So I was down a good like 83 pounds and I think I gained like 15. Oh my god, I gained 15 in like 2 weeks. You guys have to realize if I have one day of just like tons of sodium, the next day I could be up like 4 pounds.
Well, you know what the solution is then, don't you, Amber? Have you ever heard of restraint? I mean, I'm sure you have, but have you ever used restraint for a period longer than 2 days or until you have a solid bowel movement? And by solid, I don't mean consistency. I mean you just being sat there for long enough to do some random online shopping for knickknacks.
Okay, so we're gonna get straight to the point. Today was day 2 of weighing in out of 100 days, so I'll put that right here. That means I'm down like 0.4 from yesterday. Yesterday I did order like takeout and stuff. It was Saturday. Today's Sunday. I told myself starting Monday, we're gonna do the thing with the calorie counting and all that.
As correctly pointed out by another user in the comments section to that video called Weight Loss Update and Best Coffee Ever Vlog, you were 529 3 years ago, yet somehow you think 501, which is what you were after this video, is somehow progress. 3 years and 28 pounds. She also brought back, as you noticed, calorie counting, and obviously daily weigh-ins for 100 days. Both of those have already been dropped. I wonder why. Did you binge again?
Okay, so we're back at it again with the mukbangs. Don't be upset. I know a lot of people are going to say I'm like trolling.
I think you are trolling. You brought mukbangs back. This was granted before all the other stuff we'd covered, but I do want to reference it now. You brought back something that was arguably what made your channel. People watched because they were watching you stuff your face with what you considered healthy. Now granted, what is in front of you is in fact healthy, which is where the troll is, because it's healthy food, right? But as everyone knows, you eat most of your stuff off camera. For years people have been saying, why don't you record your binges? And if you're interested in turning your channel's fortunes around, I'm certain it is certainly an option on the table. Unless of course you want to post that exclusively onto OnlyFooper. For the remainder of January there were bait pictures with ALR and Destiny together, because Destiny I believe had gone through a breakup. And the fact that ALR had put out a statement concerning Apathetic Fox, and the claims that ALR may well have copyright claimed Apathetic Fox's content and channel. Small thing, I watched a lot of Apathetic Fox's content. Quite a bit of it was not transformative in the slightest, and that is where the copyright issues reside. Whether ALR did or did not flag becomes irrelevant if you've breached TOS. Either you transform the content so it's something original, or you risk the wrath of the YouTube gods. On that note, with this thumbnail in mind, I knew I recognized you from somewhere. So right at the start I mentioned a suspicion that ALR and Wifey Wipey were not together. This seems to have been compounded at the end of the month, because people started to notice content that looks to be months old. Up to 5 months old in fact, that was being posted in January as if it was new, which led to the suspicion that not only has she pre-recorded a vast amount of content, but that she is also lying about the status of Wipey Wifey.
If you got diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder, would you keep it to yourself, unlike most of your other diagnoses? Are you going to address the fact that you stated the date was September 19th in your weigh-in? So, thank you for this question. I did say September 19th, which I don't know how that happened, because it's most definitely January. If you guys go back and look, like if you guys want to be like your little investigators, because I know how you guys are, instead of just like going off of a conspiracy, I literally had a hickey. I have had a hickey for a little bit of time now. I have been saying the dates in each video, and it's really funny that I can sit here and say January, but I accidentally slip up and say September, and you guys are like, yep. Oh, and the same person who asked that question said, the fact that those weigh-ins were in September means you moved in with your girlfriend whilst Becky was still dealing with heartbreak and struggling to get on her feet. No!
What a classy response. The thing is, that slip up was a tad odd, and you didn't really debunk it other than to say, it was just a slip, we all do it. It's quite an odd slip. The only other thing that happened in January, so yes, we're at the end of it, you're all welcome, is that Amber is self-diagnosing again. WebMD and her are after all symbiotic and very close friends, like Tom and everyone else on MySpace. For February 2022, Amberlynn Reid started by posting some pictures to her community tab. These pictures showed her progress, with Amberlynn Reid saying 7 months ago versus now, same camera, same angle, same face expressions, same hair. Literally the difference makes me so happy. This is part of her typical yearly yo-yo diet, where she goes up after losing 80 pounds, then goes back down 80 pounds, then goes up 80 pounds. In the pictures, yes, she has lost weight. What people want to see is her lose the weight and keep it off, and continue to make the progress and at least get back to where she was when she started. In this picture, you see a vast difference. In the top picture, I'm not entirely sure how she hasn't fallen forward. I don't mean that as a dig, but it looks like her back is straining, whereas in the bottom one, I thought her bottom resembled a parallelogram. These are the only crass jokes I'm going to make, and I've been holding on to them for a long time. She also decided to take up a position in solidarity with Foodie Beauty, a fellow peer of hers, highly respected dietitian, by appearing and commenting in the live stream for Nada El Shami, but I believe she was banned because she got a little bit critical, controversial even. Wow, if that's all it takes, I say we all just go over there and say, hello, we're problematic, can you do us a solid? What a snowflake.
But this is brief for now.
It was also during the month of February that many theories about you being bedbound and what Becky did for you were confirmed in a video titled My Deepest, Darkest Secret, brackets, not clickbait, close brackets, Let's Talk episode 10, where you said the following.
So now that we're here, I shower every single day. I honestly love showering. So being able to do that with literally no issue, like I'm able to clean my body with no issue. I'm able to stand with no issue. Like I'm just like a normal person in the shower, besides like I'm fat and all. But I know people think that like I don't shower like a normal person, but I promise you, I literally do. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because in 2018, pretty sure the only people who know this is two people, my ex and my current girlfriend. I couldn't shower. I bathed in bed. Becky and I promised not to talk about each other, but like she was there for me through it all. And it's like so grateful that she loved me unconditionally like that, because you guys, I hated myself so much.
I can promise you your housemates knew. That is all I'm going to say on this matter. You have merely confirmed a theory many of us had. I myself mentioned it in the third content constable on you. While Amberlynn might well be proud for how far she has not come so far that she cannot slip. Here is proof of it, where she ate 5,000 calories. This one led to a rather interesting consequence, in the form of a former friend, Rich Lux. Underneath the 5,000 calorie video, Rich Lux commented, she gave up on herself, and guess what? I said 3 years of following her, I gave up on her too. I am tired, I am over it, good luck. He also made a 28-minute, 31-second video discussing his reasons for walking away. I decided rather than play the video though, I would reach out to him, first of all to get permission to use his video in this if I wanted to, which he has granted, but also to get a statement so I didn't have to play so much of his video, thank you Rich though for letting me, where he said, it's hard to support and watch someone when they don't even support themselves. I used to root her, but it's clear she gave up. And after all that, I still stuck around and watched. With time, I gave up too, and now just pray for her to get better. So next on the list would be Snapchat, as Amberlynn is well known for using it to do Q&A, AMAs, whatever you want to call it, where she will answer some of your questions if they're not too hurtful. The more notable of which concerned a ring size. A contentious and quite frankly boring argument that Amberlynn may well have been misleading everyone about the size of her ring finger. She even made a big deal about it during a video called New Diet Plan, Huge Surprise and Hot Topic Haul.
My weigh-in for today. So from yesterday, I am up 0.2. So I'm kind of sort of flirting with the idea of starting Noom. Hey guys, so it's February 15th. Here's my weigh-in for today. I did binge last night. I woke up feeling super sick. Today is actually day 1 of me starting Noom. Next day, here is my weigh-in. So it's really weird because I did Noom yesterday. It was my first day. I was super excited to weigh myself. The fact that I stayed the same is super confusing because I stayed below calories. Like, I'm pretty sure it's because I was in the car yesterday for over 5 hours and I get super swollen in the car, which then makes me retain water. Y'all, I bought a freaking ring measuring kit on Amazon because people were like, Amberlynn, your ring finger is so fat. Let's do like a 10 moment. This is what everyone thinks I am. So it does sit, like it doesn't fall off.
The lengths some go to just to prove one tiny pointless detail wrong. How gauche. Amberlynn also has been caught up in a bit of a storm concerning whether current wifey is Mark 1 wifey or Mark 2. I believe Karina Kaboom had debunked a fair amount of that, with it being believed that there is a second wifey. Wifey, doesn't matter. It was also during the month of March that Amberlynn had crept back over the £500 mark. Again, this was confirmed during another AMA on Snapchat. How do you feel about being in the 500s again, Amberlynn? Not surprised. My lymphedema is super swollen from the long car drive to my friends this weekend. Current weight, 500.6. How are you and your girlfriend? How long has it been since you've been dating? Blah blah blah. Destiny said she cheats on you with Dana today on Snapchat. Why do you still love her? I don't love her. Girl, you don't know what the definition of a pillow princess is. It's obvious you're trying to act all dainty and cute, but it is not it. As you can see, it gets a bit off track and is not saved when someone says that you cannot reach your vulva, as it is very healthy to masturbate. No doubt influenced by the fact that her views aren't exactly doing as well as they used to, Amberlynn Reid started to bring back mukbangs. If you don't know what that is, eating lots of food. In the case of Amberlynn Reid, what she invariably does is try to make some of her meals look like they are healthy. One of my longtime friends, Little Miss Anonymous, very kindly pointed out during this particular mukbang that particular salad is from Eat Smart and it is sweet kale, but it is not healthy when you look at the nutritional content on the back. The bag is 3.5 servings. Per serving, you get 20% of your recommended daily intake of sugar, meaning by the time you've finished that bag, you've eaten 70%. That is not a healthy salad by any stretch of the imagination because they are not good sugars. They are added sugars. Let's ignore the fact that you put sauces all over the top as well because you have to have your condiments. And this is not a healthy dish at all. Trying to imply you're back on one of the many diets you rotate through your 4-stage cycle is not helped once anyone, which is basically everyone on the internet anyway, notices what you're actually eating. You might use these mukbangs as a philosophical point, but everyone else is hyper-focused on the fact that you are not eating a healthy meal. And we know damn well that you will go off and binge, and then start your cycle again on Monday to rinse repeat the following Monday. As a final thing concerning February 2022, there is some confusion for me when I was researching this concerning wifey. Not just whether or not she's 1 or 2, but also the fact that Becky had let slip what ALR's girlfriend's name was, which I'm not going to mention. There is also an alleged accidental dox, courtesy of Amberlynn Reid on wifey. We will of course get to that when we get to March momentarily. Amber doesn't help this though, because at one point she said that the name that was revealed by Becky is not her girlfriend's name, because apparently they'd broken up. But then others say that the current wifey is the original wifey that they are calling by that name, with Amber then confirming that her current wifey's name is not that name at all, but somebody called Alex. As that name does not match up to the other name that we all believed her current wifey was called, this is why people believe there are 2 separate wifeys. It really doesn't help me, especially because I don't pay enough attention to keep up with what is going on. That is my fault. So on to March 2022 for our dear dainty pillow princess girl. To start off the month of March, we're going to go to a video premiered on the 7th of March 2022. So yes, we're skipping 6 days, but quite frankly, there was nothing of interest happening then, where Amberlynn Reid uploaded a video called I Did Not Lie. The problem with this 20-minute video is she's debunking whether or not she had a health scare a couple of years ago, a very serious health scare, which the majority of the comments agree was pointless because not many actually believed she faked it. And that was the crux of the misunderstanding on her part. Many people did not believe she lied. They believed she didn't care enough about the aftercare or to use this as a turnaround. It was a really big point I made at the end of 2020. She really didn't learn her lesson and went back into old habits and has continued to do so for years. It is tragic when you think about it. Lessons have not been learned, so all of this emotional bleh that is being presented along with evidence of the bleh is pointless because that's not what people are more concerned about. You have pandered to a vocal minority in favor of simply doing what the vocal majority would rather you did, and that is simply look after yourself, Amber. This is not difficult. It was also during the month of March that Amberlynn Reid started uploading cameos or performing these things for that site, where she can do a little non-promotional business thing license shoutouts that were at best ill thought out, really embarrassing, and all about herself in every aspect. And I'm going to play one of them because I don't care enough.
Hello, Shani. I hope that I am pronouncing your name right. If I'm not, I'm very, very sorry. I'm gonna feel so bad about it. But you know what? I have days where I am just not productive at all. Then there are days where I know I need to be productive. So if you ever have a day where you're like, I need to be more productive in my life, there's things I need to do, just do them. But like sometimes if I just go on autopilot and I'm just like, okay, I know I have to do the dishes, or I know I have to pay those bills, or I know I have to go for a walk. Like I'll just autopilot. Like I'll just go through the motions and just do it. And what really, really helps is putting on some music. Like turn on some music, some songs that you really like. Even reward yourself if you have to, because I know I do. So maybe like if you do something that you've been prolonging, have a nice hot bath.
And yes, I did cut out tongue clicking, breathing, and parts that were quite frankly boring. Not to say that was any way interesting. There was one actually that's much better, but I thought I'd let you suffer for a minute. You're welcome. Credits where it is due for Amberlynn Reid. She has in fact been honouring her cameo appearances, many of which have since been uploaded to YouTube. And in some of those instances, she did in fact get the name pronounced correct. On the 10th of March, Amberlynn Reid decided to show us her comedic genius in the form of a parody response to a fake Alex is Shook phone call. I would play it from start to finish, but I think you've suffered enough for 1 year. Needless to say, it is actually surprisingly well done. It reminds me of the old days of collaborations. I can't wait for more. Okay, you're going to see a bit of it.
Talk about... Hello?
Hey, it's Amberlynn.
Amberlynn?
So next, the discussion concerning Amber's ring size cropped up yet again in a video concerning spam. It was around this time I reached out to another creator because I wanted to know a bit more about some rings that she and Becky had. Becky still was in possession of them, but it turns out while Amber was going to sell them for a little bit of money for some outpatient thing that she got a high off when we all know the cycle has begun again, the rings were worthless. So what she was asking for them really wasn't worth it. Which I guess means we can then have a little look at Amberlynn's first outpatient appointment and weight loss update video.
So today is the first appointment for my outpatient eating disorder appointment with the psychologist. I am extremely nervous. I'm scared. Like the assessment was so long. It took hours, like the paperwork. Okay, you guys, so I had my appointment. I am literally emotionally exhausted. That was a lot. And like beforehand, my psychologist was like, I need to warn you, this is going to be a lot. So afterwards, do something to treat yourself kind. So what I'm going to do is I'm sitting on my couch and I'm comfy. And I think I'm going to watch some 90 Day Fiance or maybe some 600 Pound Life because I'm behind on that. Oh, there's so much information. I almost wish I could have taken you guys to the appointment with me, if you know what I'm saying. I understand myself more than ever.
Based on the track record of what Amberlynn Reid has done in the past when she started things, gone to appointments, felt invigorated, this is cliche 4 stages of Amberlynn Reid's diet cycle. This I believe is stage 1, is it not? I guess we'll have to wait and see to see if she actually managed to make any progress with this kind of support. Now moving forward, apparently Ring Gate, because I guess it was dubbed thusly, this is how interesting Amberlynn Reid is, had continued throughout the month, with Amberlynn Reid showing this ring during a torrid haul. There's a ring size on that. That's interesting. She had claimed her ring size was a little bit smaller. Does she fluctuate? Do ring sizes differ in different countries perhaps? How is this interesting? Karina Kaboom had done a video dispelling the rumours concerning Ring Gate and what the ring size actually is. Unfortunately, she deletes her videos on a semi-regular basis, But it's okay, I've got a backup. Not that it matters, the other lie that Amberlynn Reid had told during this month up to this point concerned Becky, and Karina also addressed that. That being who purchased the rings. Short answer, Becky did, and used commissions for artwork to do so. Amberlynn Reid herself confirmed that. So this Instagram post here is a lie. It was around mid-March that Amberlynn Reid finally started bringing back on a more regular basis the mukbang, even after having said multiple times that they were to her triggering, causing her to binge more. While the views are always good on them, which they are, let's admit it, she rose to fame because of them. They were causing her problems with her health, although based on the fact that she's done very few over the years since she said she wasn't going to do them but still did them anyway and still continued to climb up, go down, climb up, climb down, I have no idea what to believe. To start this off, she did one on pot stickers, along with explaining what her psychologist thought of her doing mukbangs. And this is what the psychologist allegedly said.
My psychologist supports me filming mukbangs that are obviously me not binging.
Don't worry though, these ludicrous positions are sure to not hold up for much longer. Oh wait, but Amberlynn Reid had a phone call with the FBI. I wonder how that went.
Story time. Last October or November, I was simply just skimming through the comment section of my YouTube, but there was one that I remember reading that kind of like was like, they know where I live, they're gonna off me. And I remember reading it. I actually took a screenshot of it. This is the only time I've ever done this, like actually been kind of like scared of a comment. Well, as I'm taking screenshots and stuff, I guess some of you, so I want to say thank you, found that comment and was scared by it as well. Dun da da. I don't know why the FBI didn't know I lived here. Immediately, he said, "You are not in trouble." Turns out, y'all, the FBI is actually on my side.
Now, Amberlynn Reid got a lot of, let's call it, parody-related criticism for this. Understandably so, because in that video where I've chopped a considerable amount of rubbish out, there is more, honestly, but you need to speed it up because there's a lot of dead air and chewing. She makes it seem like the FBI are padding her buttocks. And because people call into question the legitimacy of that calling card, she provides proof. Here is the proof. Amberlynn Reid put out a poll on Instagram, asking people whether they would be interested in purchasing stickers that she had collected for 5 years. 84% said no. Later on in the month, Amberlynn Reid quit Instagram, changing the Rarity Cat Instagram account to Goodbye Rarity Cat. And the reason why is because of this post here. This has happened on multiple occasions. People fake being me by faking Instagram accounts with almost my identical username. They send very disgusting messages to people. I will no longer be using my Instagram, it is unsafe. I don't want people thinking I'm actually out here doing this. My life is being ruined. People are disgusting. Ta-ta for now. As a final thing for the month of March, Amberlynn Reid ends it strong with all these mukbangs, and with the knowledge that all of her lies come tumbling down. One, with her saying she bought the engagement rings to continue saying them that she did. The perpetual lies continuing well after this about the engagement ring size, her ring size, blah blah blah, any ring really. But also that the FBI thing happened in October, but from her own community post, if it did happen, it happened in February, along with being irritated that people keep on bringing up a video from August the 5th, 2016, proving that she has lied before, titled Confessing Everything I've Lied About. That cycle, I do wonder how it holds up in April. Shall we find out? Please don't feel the need to answer this, but have you recently been to the doctors for a full checkup? Not just the outpatient tests, because you've been looking a lot more ill recently, like crazily so. I want you to recover from your ED, lose the weight, and just be your best self, but you've been looking how you did right before you found out you had cancer, and it is worrying. Reply, hey, truly, thank you for reaching out. I can see what you mean, as the lighting in the room I film in is pretty bad, which is making my already unhealthy face, quotations, look horribly ill. But don't worry, I do have a doctor's appointment scheduled. I am honestly so excited to go and get a full checkup, because it has been a while since I got one. I did get a test done to check for surface level stuff from my psychologist, but not a real in-depth checkup, which I need. I am also going to make an appointment with my oncologist. Later on in the month, Amberlynn Reid gets a bit wasted, white girl wasted, on fake whiskey. Even in this image you can see some darkening around her fingers and her eyes. Because she has been compromised by alcohol levels, you can safely say it is not the lighting, because the rings around her eyes are also darker. But of course this is a small point. I'm sure the redness is what's doing it. Because Amberlynn Reid's channel has been suffering of late with views diminishing considerably, she has continued with her mukbanging and started the month with a KFC mukbang, with a KFC chicken pot pie, which I did little digging, contained 720 calories and 125% of your daily recommended trans fats, and 73% of your daily recommended sodium. So if she put on any weight afterwards, no doubt she would blame it on her sodium levels and that water weight. While I had been led to believe that Amberlynn Reid had quit Instagram as a whole, turns out when I started it with Narcissistic Goddess, she continued to use that profile, which would include this picture of her with either Alex or Jade, unless they're the same person and those times are completely skewed and no one knows what they're talking about because you're all haters. I honestly can't tell, but I guess this may well explain why the comments are turned off. Amberlynn Reid, because of her diminishing views on YouTube, which means diminishing income, which means less Cheesecake Factory, decided now would be a good time to create dainty merch, because she is a dainty princess, and princesses need to be worshipped in the form of Teespring merch. This would include the rip-roaring, critically acclaimed Pillow Mountain design, the fashion catwalk-worthy merch moment, which includes a wraparound t-shirt or sweater. I can't tell the difference, it's all white. The thing that stuck out to me was when I went and had a look at the prices of this, she's just charged the recommended price, which the profit margin for is considerable. And this is where the issue lies. If you were being cheeky and you simply had just that writing, you'd lower the prices a bit so it would be a bit more reasonable. An actual design that you claim to put effort into would yield a somewhat better return. This is hardly Photoshop. That font looks like one of the many fonts you can use on Teespring's own app to design it yourself. The word lazy seems apt. If anyone did buy this, well done. Sure, we after all here have to support our goal. Because of the feedback Amberlynn Reid got because of this, and of course the continued feedback she gets about Jade and or Alex and or the same person, Amber got, as I earlier mentioned, White Girl Wasted in a livestream that has done exceptionally well on her channel considering other views. Yes, this is actually her, well, it was her regular territory in viewership. During that stream we learnt that, well, quite frankly, Amber put a lot of effort into it, and you need to support her. Also, while Amberlynn Reid claims her girlfriend gives her hard talks and makes it so she can stay strong and firm and not lose her way on her diet, she bought her a bowl of rice. Okay. In another attempt to try and get more people involved and engaged with her content, Amberlynn Reid on the community tab put out a poll. What is the vlog length that you prefer? She got ratioed with 573 comments to 293 upvotes. She also put out a poll saying, "Hi everyone, I really want to try vlogging more, but I was wondering how often you think I should upload. Every other day, daily, and Monday, Wednesday, Friday." Obviously in this instance you can see the result. No, that wasn't my vote. That was someone else doing it for me. The result of the vlog though, the length of it, was 20 plus minutes, with 62%. Add that to Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Amberlynn Reid would have to make an hour's worth of content at the very minimum to give the people what they want. And the reason the people have asked for that is because if she does 20 minutes worth of content, she'll have to leave the house. Perhaps go to Target, Walmart, Cheesecake Factory, which because of the current state of Amberlynn Reid isn't something she can do anymore. She doesn't have Becky to bounce off or Destiny to bounce off, so we don't have Alex Jade yet. It's interesting to me with this, with these polls, because Amberlynn Reid then also started making other content, saying she would show us a whole new side of her. In a 6-minute video where she ate a clear lie of a breakfast, she showed us a hole that we had never looked into before, her ears, along with telling us how liberating it is in a separate video to sing in the shower, put on a concert. We don't get to hear it, but she put on a concert nonetheless. I'm sure it totally wasn't miming or feigned singing. But the interesting part really is, while asking everyone what they want, she puts out a 6-minute and a 5-minute video. If someone's getting lazy, that is the evidence for it. The last thing of note to happen to Amberlynn Reid during the month of April is another example of Amberlynn Reid's ignorance. Again trying to cash in some way to raise the funds to maintain that profit margin. Amberlynn Reid put out a video where she didn't originally disclose that she had an Amazon affiliates link in her description while promoting Amazon products and a site.
You guys, it is time for our Amazon box of the day. And this is the box that my girlfriend ordered. So let's do it. Ooh, oh yeah, she's been wanting a tea kettle. Oh my God, it's so cute. She likes tea. I don't. Oh, shut up. So aesthetic. You guys. Oh, and by the way, you can click my little Amazon situation type deal. There's a link down below. If you see anything that I open from Amazon, I will try to remember to put it in the store so you can click it and get it yourself. Look at this.
It's like Amberlynn Reid has become one of those advertisement sales type people on that TV channel whose name that I've completely forgotten. Because of the backlash, Amberlynn Reid did eventually have to update the video description to include references to the fact that this is, well, yeah, no, she is an Amazon affiliate and she should have done it in the first place. I swear at this point, Amberlynn Reid has just become one big promotion of things that don't really sell because the majority of her audience are haters. But I could be wrong. I mean, she does have her own home, right? That counts. For the month of May, Amberlynn Reid made around 17 videos. Those videos get about half of the views she usually got back when she was with Becky and all previous partners, when she was a much more frequent uploader to YouTube. This is important because things are getting worse. Now I know things are a bit dry for content creators at this point of the year anyway, but this by her standard is catastrophic. Now granted, she is not as interesting as Foodie Beauty by any stretch of the imagination because no one is. Too many things happening at once is not an Amberlynn Reid thing. Amberlynn Reid used to put up very long videos. By the standard of now, she's phoning it in, and we'll certainly go into that later on with her reacting to hate comments, which is her reacting to hate comments. So even after putting out a poll where many suggested she do daily videos over 20 minutes long, Amberlynn Reid started the month with a video titled Meal Planning for Weight Loss Vlog at 6 minutes and 8 seconds long. And this is the only thing I took away from it.
I'm not really an oatmeal person, but we're gonna give it a go. My girlfriend cooked me breakfast. 3 days no takeout, and then I'm gonna allow myself to have like a healthy takeout meal on the 4th day. Let's do a little oatmeal taste test. Do you remember what brand this is? Oh, thanks, baby. Okay, let me try a little taste. She's going to get me the box. She's so sweet. Better Oats is the brand. Oh, wait, it's actually really good.
The two main takeaway points from that are Amberlynn Reid still thinks there's such a thing as a healthy takeout considering what she's done in the past, and 2, she doesn't like oats. But because her girlfriend made them for her, she likes them. She's still in the honeymoon phase if you haven't noticed. While Amberlynn Reid does do breakfast eating in nearly every single video for this month, she does not do a single dedicated mukbang, which is a bit of a surprise. So next on the list of videos, can Amberlynn Reid walk a mile at the weight of 500 pounds?
So it's a 100-day goal journal. You guys always know I'm trying to like lose this much weight in 100 days. No, we're doing a movement goal, a walking goal. In 100 days, I want to walk 100 miles. No. In 100 days, my goal is to be able to walk a mile. Okay, you guys, so I am going for my walk. I kind of just want to see like a baseline of what do I feel comfortable walking. Okay. Update. I've gotten 0.2 and I've been walking for 6 minutes. Next update. But update, I did 2,000 steps. I walked for 21 minutes and I went half of a mile.
The reason Amberlynn Reid didn't go further is because she doesn't like putting in the hard effort to actually see where her real baseline is, something she actually admits, because why put effort in and make yourself miserable? Because as everyone knows, working out in any way is highly enjoyable. We also in that same video got to see Amberlynn Reid cook her breakfast and show us off her hoarding scratcher crap art tat. She considers them as some form of therapy, which we'll get to some other forms of therapy later, because Amberlynn Reid knows best. Many of you will remember earlier in the year Amberlynn Reid had sought out help for her binge eating disorder. Attending therapy was a key part. Many of us had wondered which version of Amberlynn Reid would quit. Would it be the version that simply believed she was better? Simply gave up because it was too hard for her? Or perhaps she couldn't afford it anymore? In a video titled, Girlfriend Rates My New Outfit and Outpatient Update, we get the updates that many of us expected. And I can promise you this, everyone expected it. Fully. Because there isn't a single version of Amberlynn Reid that exists in any part of the multiverse that is any different from this version.
So now I'm gonna try it on. Okay, so here it is on, and I'm actually shocked. It fits pretty well. I mean, with a little bit of weight loss, like these 3 pounds.
Shake your face. Watch yourself.
Babe, get a life.
Never.
So I promised in my last vlog that I would talk about outpatient and give you guys an update on that, but I totally forgot, slipped my mind. So we're gonna do it in this video. So I know that my decisions and the way that I live my life reflects on the way that you guys treat me. It is something I have very much noticed. So I'm expecting a lot of backlash, a lot of hate, a lot of people being disappointed in me. So I have officially taken a pause on outpatient. I noticed that the program that I was doing, they're very much health at every size, which I completely disagree with. I don't believe in that at all. I do believe beauty at every size, so don't get me wrong, but I don't believe in health at every size at all. And my health problems because of it and me wanting to just save my life, I felt guilty talking about those things, almost like I wasn't supposed to. It was like I was walking on eggshells. So currently in my life, I am actively losing weight, trying to lose weight. There will be a weigh-in, so don't worry, you guys do not have to worry about that. I'm actually very proud of myself. I'm feeling amazing.
So one in a handful of videos that Amberlynn Reid made that went over 10 minutes, she finally discussed the fact that she walked away from outpatient because she knew what was best for her. If we can all just stop rolling our eyes for a moment and focus on the really important issue here. Amberlynn Reid knows what's best for her, everyone, and she's on a weight loss journey and succeeding by having the exact same breakfast over and over again and having binges during the month, which she confessed to, that undermine everything, and she's still holding on to vast amounts of water weight. But now I think would be a good time to talk about how she phoned it in a couple times. More notably, with a reaction to a reaction to a reaction. Top tier, top shelf content, by the way.
Okay, first things I want to say is, wow, the difference in the way that I look is astronomical. And you can just tell how unhappy I am. You look like you're decomposing. Oh, me trying to be cute and quirky when I remember I put all of the comments in like black and gray. I don't know why I did that. Like I was trying to experiment more with my editing, but okay. Thanks. This is just 14 minutes of Amberlynn finding out what lighting is. I mean, I am dumb, so what am I watching?
Somebody who, while bedbound at the time, put vastly more effort into that one video than you have for the rest of your channel for many, many years. When I said you were phoning it in, this was just you stroking your own ego, or having your girlfriend stroke it for you. You know, just in case you can't reach it. The only other thing of note that happened during this month came courtesy of young, dumb Honeybun, who put out a video basically calling Amber out for her lies. Now, Karina Kaboom did do a video on this. It has since been deleted. Talking about, yeah, you got busted, Amber. Amber was asked on her narcissistic goddess Instagram account, and she mentioned she was working on a video to put out debunking this. Now, because Amberlynn Reid uploads 2 weeks behind, I guess, she pre-records 2 weeks worth of content, essentially. We didn't get to see it till much later. She didn't debunk shit. During that remarkably long video, which I'm not going to play because it's over an hour long and finding the best bits is utterly worthless, all Amberlynn Reid does is over-explain how she knows best. Also further proving the point that she is the pinnacle of confirmation bias, because she will look and she will find people that will solely exist to agree with what she thinks a weight loss journey entails. The levels of delusion are usually treated with therapy and medication. The problem is, as Amberlynn's coffer is getting a little bit lighter, along with her delusions getting heavier, she is unlikely to seek out help unless that help reinforces what she believes. Because again, Amberlynn Reid knows best. As we now enter the halfway mark for 2022, you're undoubtedly going to have noticed these segments are not exactly all that long. And that's because, much like Amberlynn Reid's videos, she's not putting out much, she's not giving away much, but when she does give away something, it's just the same recycled, tired old excuses over and over again. And don't worry everyone, we're going to get plenty of them in June as well. You're going to get some trolling clothes, some equally trolly meals, and her yo-yoing between £80. By the way, if anyone else, any let's call them regular person, yo-yoed £80 in weight, I promise you, they're not healthy. Nor is it healthy, nor is it anyway an indicator you're on the right track. It's an indicator that you're still bouncing like an elastic band ball that can neither wash nor wipe itself. But we can see your choker at least. So to begin the month of June 2022, Amberlynn Reid did the following.
But it's been a time that I love. I personally love the rain. So does my girlfriend. So we're both pluviophiles. So you guys have been wanting to see me in this outfit, and I've been forgetting to show you guys. So here it is today. If you guys remember when I hauled, we're gonna be going to like a homeless shelter because we have a ton of snacks we want to give. So yeah, I'm keeping the same freaking psychologist. I literally love her so much because like I don't know how to explain it. Like she gets me like...
That outfit is 100% a troll. During the same video, we learn a new word, pluviophile, because we all knew Amberlynn Reid was scared of rain. Now she's fine with it, which is still further proof of Amberlynn's very much honeymoon phase with her relationship with Wifey, Washy, Jade? Was it Alex? Is she dating irate Alex? And finally, Amberlynn Reid keeping the same psychologist, because they mother baby her to the point where she is just like, oh, please, give me more, make me feel better. It's certainly quite the spectacle to hear about from Amberlynn Reid's own mouth.
Hey guys, welcome to a new video. So in this video, it's gonna be like a weigh-in, a weight loss talk. I'm gonna tell you guys my weight and just talk to you a bit about what I've been doing. So I think it's important that we start with why I haven't made a weigh-in video. So my main reason was I wanted to reach a certain weight before coming on here because...
Allow me to finish the sentence for you because you're going to prattle on as if you're proud about something you really shouldn't be. It's that 80 plus pound drop that she makes every year. It's the goals.
Like there has been plenty of times in the past where me and my friends will eat the exact same thing, but yet I'll gain weight and they won't. And when I tell you literally the exact same thing.
That is because your body is used to that kind of food. Therefore, it will take every ounce of nourishment, which isn't really nourishment, from the food that it believes will help it. You're eating cheesecake. It can be the exact same portion, it won't matter. Your body is used to that, therefore it will bounce back very quickly. You have to commit. You have to truly commit, Amber. And you don't commit. You've never committed.
Binge, whether it's a little binge or a huge binge, there is a mental block where it's like an out-of-body experience. I literally feel like I'm looking at myself do it. I can't control it. It's like a possession. Anyone who binge eats totally understands.
As you can see, we learnt an awful lot about Amberlynn during that one video. It was during the month of June we also got a 500-pound shower routine video. Not clickbait, everyone. During this video, Amberlynn actually got into her shower and made it seem like she was having a shower. I don't believe that for a second and think perhaps she leaned a bit far back, but I could be wrong. It wasn't until I was doing a research stream that somebody had very reliably informed me in the chat that Amber was doing this as a bit of a 600-pound live thing, where people who appear on this show are actually paid a lot of money to do showers for the show, to show how difficult it is for them to navigate cleanliness, and hygiene. My view on it is Amber has managed to trivialize something that shouldn't even be a thought, because she's running out of content ideas and realizes there's a fetish for this, and there are definitely views in it. Which we know is the case because this video on its own has more views than most of the videos she put out in the month of June.
My other eye is now bothering me. You know, it's just like an allergic reaction moment that is just ongoing.
Yes, most eyeballs are in fact allergic to poop on their finger.
My new Capricorn necklaces. Do we have any other Capricorns out there? Oh my god, why does that keep flipping?
Disavow.
I got makeup in my eye yesterday, so it's like double whammy, so I love that for me.
You don't by chance apply your makeup to your face with the tip of your finger, do you? When that tip of your finger perhaps has been somewhere where it shouldn't be on its own. Amberlynn Reid then shows to us just how stupid she is when it comes to purchasing clothes. The kind where she'll buy it, wear it once or twice, have a moment, and then get rid of it. In this case, she was going to give a load of clothes away. Her hoard, as she dubbed it in a video. She then takes some of it back and decides, you know what actually looks good on me now? I can't part with this. Just like a hoarder would say that. She also then shows us some of her scratch art, and I want to talk about that for a moment. Because this just shows how lazy she is, and how, let's say, lacking in creativity she also is. Oh, and there's no way she read that book. The spine isn't even cracked. In every video Amberlynn Reid does at the moment, she has this scratch art. I don't consider it a form of art in the slightest. I think it's just her lazy way of showing that she can draw patterns, akin to that of a psychiatrist asking you what the image is. There is a belief that Amberlynn Reid, under the narcissistic goddess telonym thingy jiggy doodah, has been shading Becky. Examples of this would include, spill some tea about 3 people but don't let us know who the tea is about. Person 1, only worked for 1 week in their last year even though they're telling people they worked all the time. 2, recently stole from their friend so they could pawn off the item they stole. Person 3, not actually losing weight because they're trying but losing weight because they don't have much money to spend on food. I'm not saying if you guys know these people or not, just 3 random people I know. Now, as we all know, Amberlynn Reid's network is actually quite small, localized on the internet anyway. So we know exactly which one of these 3 she is referring to as Becky. Feels like shade, doesn't it? Yes. Interestingly, she does use telonym quite a lot. For example, when told she needs to stop eating takeout, she said this would make binge eating worse. That is true. It needs to be a reasonable amount of calories. 1200 is not enough. She, to get her weight loss in the right direction, accompanying that with a suitable amount of exercise that she cannot do, would require 2000 to 2500 realistically to start. Somebody inquired about Becky and said you were only sad about the breakup because you didn't want to be alone. Would you agree with that? Be honest. Amber said, I was sad because I thought I was losing my best friend and I was right. Well, you've got YP now. And finally, will we ever meet your girlfriend? With Amberlynn replying, not with the kind of people watching me, no. I have on research live streams multiple times said, Amberlynn and Foodie Beauty are responsible for the communities they create. They created this mess. They made this for themselves. With Amber though, the problem she has is her views are declining. With that decline, she doesn't have many options left unless her girlfriend starts to feature in the videos. Because she doesn't have many friends around her to, let's say, sponge off for views. For the month of July 2022, we have 2 different aspects. The second of which I'm going to leave till August because it paints a rather interesting picture, and for a change we don't have to be on YouTube for it. Yes, we're going to the Instagram Q&As. So for the month of July, Amberlynn started a number of series. As many of you will undoubtedly know from the many years she's been on YouTube, she likes to run them the length of something that doesn't get the back 9, i.e. 13 episodes at most, or akin to that of a UK version of a series or season, depending on your interpretation of the 2 words for a television show that has a number of episodes per season or series. During these, Amberlynn will be semi-motivated to try and achieve a goal. Amber's goal is an interesting one because Amber's goal, well, it's a head scratcher. There's logic to this one, everyone. Would you like to hear that logic?
Hey guys, welcome to a new series. So welcome to 500-pound girl. So I am ahead on filming. So as you guys know, the most weight that I have ever lost at once has been 89 pounds. It's like whenever I get close, something happens. So as you guys know, I bought the Hello It's Ready scale. It makes me 4 to 6 pounds lighter. This series is me counting my calories, showing you guys what I eat every single day, and doing daily weigh-ins until I reach 100 pounds down.
Within that spliced together bit I've showed you, which was actually the second video in the list of videos I have pulled for you to watch, there are a couple points worth addressing. The first, Amber did make a big deal of losing 89 pounds. Many times over the years, in fact, it has become her safety net to prove she can lose some weight. The problem is, to maintain that weight loss, you don't then blow up the additional 89 pounds like you usually do, to then go back down to go back up. This is not good for your system at all. The second point, you mentioned newer scales that make you 4 to 6 pounds lighter, so you're going to go with your older scales that cost quite a lot and you are very happy with. Creature of habit, shocker. And the third point, right at the end you mentioned what you're going to do in this brand new series. The exact same thing you have done for years, with no discernible change or deviation, although I'll give you some credit. For the month of July and onwards, your videos are longer like you said they would be in a poll where everyone asked for more frequent uploads at over 20 minutes. You seem to be on track on that part. Now to go back to the first video that Amber released for the month of July, Amber put out a video titled "This is not a weight loss series, What I Ate Today, Episode 5. Don't worry, it ended on episode 10 with a fantastic season finale, which was absolute bollocks, and why it got cancelled after season 1 is a mystery, because her views were doing reasonably well. Not as well as those that dunk on her on a daily basis, but well enough.
Hello you guys, welcome to day 5. I have not weighed myself yet, so I have to take off my clothes so you can't see it happen, but alrighty, it's not good. I haven't exactly been trying my best, so that is unfortunate.
Did anyone notice that Amberlynn had put on potentially 0.8 of a pound when she weighed herself in? Yeah. I also love the more flippant nature of her trying to fob off the fact that she's not really making a concerted effort. Then again, since she's basically apartment, home, condo, penthouse bound, in the sense that she rarely goes outside anymore, it's not a surprise she just binges and does scratch art and pretends to read books.
So if she wants me to get this book and she wants me to try reading it, then I'm gonna do it. But I feel like it kind of is going against what I'm trying to do here, like by counting calories and such. But you know what? It's all gonna come together. We're gonna figure it out.
Because as is well established, counting calories has done marvels for you in the past. Now Amber does go through that book, telling us about it along with another book. To me it came across as somebody who had read the synopsis online along with the meaning of it. Mostly because the spines on those books hadn't been cracked, but that was just an observation I made.
So calories is what I'm focused on today. Okay, so I'm about to show you how much pepper I add to this. I promise you it's good.
Would you like a fun fact? Of course you would. The majority of the meals that Amberlynn Reid likes to consume have phenomenal amounts of sodium in. For example, this instant lunch chicken flavor Maruchan contains 51% of your daily sodium intake and 30% of your saturated fat. The sodium thing, though, became a running gag for the research I was doing on Moistski Live, because some of the meals you consumed during this month were over 100%. And that was before, in some instances, you added more salt.
So I decided that I'm gonna start reading, like even just a couple pages of this. Oh wow, wait, there's a lot of sections. I was not expecting that. So some of the examples: the trap of mindful eating. Will I be eating this much forever? In defense of salt. But really, what if I have health problems? Emotional eating versus binging. I'm gonna like that. Wow. What is this? Oh, pluviophile. Oh, it's a poem that I wrote.
When one goes seeking confirmation bias, they will undoubtedly fumble, stumble, and eventually come across it. I'd also recommend, if you're going to read anything about diet and health and things like that, don't think for a second you're going to enjoy it, because some of it may be difficult to process or you won't process it at all, and instead just say, well, my method works anyway, so I'm just not going to do this anymore. Even though, for the month of July, you really are sucking off your psychiatrist, psychologist, whoever it is. So let's now move on to the newer series Amberlynn Reid did for the month of July, as this one was just as embarrassing as the last one, but does demonstrate quite handily how the cycle never truly ends.
Hello, welcome to episode 8. I thought we would have been making better progress by now, but I'm up 0.4 from yesterday, so I weighed in today at 486.2.
Well, at least you're still down 9.4 pounds from the last weigh-in I showed in this particular segment.
I'm flirting with the idea of ordering seafood boil. It's something I've been craving like pretty hardcore. I think if I do get seafood boil today, my goal is to just like have it throughout the day. I have 8. I'm just gonna show you pictures from online because I didn't take pictures, didn't film it. I have had PF Chang's. I always get the Kung Pao chicken whenever I order from there. I did ask for white rice. They gave me fried rice instead. It was alright. Add a little bit of soy sauce to it. Enjoyed it.
Would anyone like to guess the sodium percentage daily recommended intake for Kung Pao chicken from PF Chang's? It's 60%. Cholesterol is 40%. Total fat, 89%.
I literally just ate this about an hour ago, a cup of noodle.
For the sake of the sodium intake, because this is always a regular running gag, do I need to show this again?
It's about 10 days later after the last clip you just saw. A lot has happened in the last 10 days. You know, it would be easy for me to come on here and just continue on, and I am here. It's been weird not to film for the last 10 days because I was doing it daily. I just stopped because I did binge. I continued to binge, and I haven't been able to find myself since then.
You know that thing where most of your video logs, you talk about how supportive your girlfriend is and how sometimes she'll put you on the straight and narrow. She'll stop you from falling as frequently as you used to fall. When you were with Becky, of course, who you've been dunking on throughout the entire month of July via Instagram Q&As. Yes, we'll get to those in August because there's more of them then. This is further proof that the honeymoon period between you two is coming to an end and your stupidity knows no bounds, because you can't seem to justify any of it. That's not to say there is any justification, you just fob it off. Another minor obstacle in the never-ending hurdle that is Amberlynn Reid's weight loss journey, where no matter how hard you claim to try, you make no actual effort at all. So July is a rinse-repeat of June, which is a rinse-repeat of May, and so on until you get back to the very first video you ever posted on your weight loss channel, journey, adventure. The final video we are now going to take a look at concerns the last video she uploaded for the month of July. Vlog number 1, a rebranding. How incredibly exciting.
What? I cannot turn on a camera and just talk about myself.
I'm sure many of you noticed 2 separate discrepancies there. First, the video was originally made towards the middle of the month, yet it was uploaded at the end of the month. The second, Amberlynn Reid struggling to talk about herself? How peculiar.
There's no other way to explain it besides that. I don't know. Okay, the lighting is making me look unwell. So we have a grocery haul. My apartment, I don't like the lighting. I mean, for like a normal person, but not for a vlogger. So I'm actually thinking about starting this book finally. I've heard there's so many trigger warnings.
For someone that makes the kind of money you do, I'm surprised you don't invest in YouTuber lighting. By the way, I didn't include the video of you making coffee, which had more sugar in than a bag of sugar. Nor did I include the remainder of your grocery haul because all of it was quite dull. Or the fact you had YP hold the camera while you put food into those Pyrex dishes from your grocery haul. I know, peak excitement. And yes, the lighting may look you ill because it accentuates your already ill natural features. On to August and the Instagram Q&As.
I love these question and answer sessions, but they just get her in so much trouble because people are just way too invested in her life. I enjoy them. Like, I wish people would ask like real questions that matter. Instead, the last one we get stuff like, how's the honeymoon phase? Is it over? So I don't know what she's going to answer today, but we'll see.
So first things first, we're going to have to go through what happened concerning the Instagram Q&As because there's some fallout to it. Because Amber, as stated there from Gaining Ground, has a reputation for putting her foot in her mouth, which is the only time it ever reaches. Before we get on with what she did for the rest of her month, before, during and after, I am going to be using clips from other channels, and I will be linking those in the pinned comment down below.
Someone asked about her cancer journey, and stupid Amberlynn gave the stupidest, most outrageous answer ever. Do you think your cancer journey would have been different if you were with your current girlfriend? I would have went to the doctor sooner. I wouldn't have ever waited till I was bleeding to death to be rushed to the ER.
This video comes from Orange Queen. By all means, go check her out. The fun fact is, if anyone has followed Amberlynn Reid for any period of time, you'd know this is utter horse crap. Amber had never been to a gynecologist before this. Amber has admitted she is terrified of doctors. Amber has changed doctors with a click of her finger. Hoof, click of her hoof. She has never really made a concerted effort to maintain herself. And certainly back then, she was reliant on one person to keep her alive and keep her moderately hygienic. That person is the very person she dunked on.
Are you insinuating that it's Becky's fault that you didn't go to the doctors sooner pre-cancer? She didn't seem concerned, which made it to where I was less concerned than I should have been. I'm pretty sure we talked about this on a live stream, but she didn't even want to take me to the ER the night I was bleeding to death. She admits that it was wrong of her, and I accepted her apology, and I have zero resentment. But my girlfriend now would have literally forced me into the gynecology office, even if I was bleeding for more than 2 months, let alone almost 3 years. Sometimes your surroundings and environment play a big role in a situation like this. Just remember to advocate for yourself, because I didn't till I finally did, and it was almost too late. It's up to you to save yourself. No one else.
At that point in your life, you were 30 years old and the head of the table of that household. The 4 of you that lived within the house, Eric's bish, Becky, your bish, of course, and yourself. You were the top earner and you were the loudest voice. I'm not surprised Becky didn't say anything, because you always have a type and they are always more submissive. Ultimately, the buck stops with you, not them. You blaming her is a really bad look for you.
She literally took Becky to Cheesecake Factory at 6 a.m, so I doubt that Becky had the power to say no to you. Even if this was true, it was probably because Amberlynn exaggerates everything and she is always at the so Becky probably thought it is just Amberlynn being herself.
Now this is where it all gets quite interesting, because people went to Becky about this on the Kinda Good Kinda Beck YouTube channel, and Becky responded to it by calling Amberlynn Reid a liar.
Are you going to respond to Amber's claims that you didn't take her bleeding seriously? Everyone took it seriously. She didn't listen to any of us. She's the one who let fear get in the way. There's no making her do anything, not even her current partner. I'm tired of talking about her and I want to move on. That night she went to the at first I didn't take her seriously because everyone knows how she is. She herself has said she has been a hypochondriac. As soon as I realized how bad it was, which was literally like 20 minutes after she even asked to go, I was all for it because it truly was the scariest thing to have witnessed what I did that night. If only she wouldn't have ignored people who actually cared about her. I have a handful and a half of people who also told her she needed to go to the gynecologist. The reason I have not said anything is, first off, I want to be completely done with that part of my life. It's the past and does nothing for my present or future. Also, I have been very sick, and before I got sick I was busy. I owe no one this explanation, but maybe she forgot, but we all did love and care about her. Seems it slipped her mind. Glad she recovered from that nightmare, but I'm done with it all. I've got a lot of hard stuff going on already.
But Amberlynn Reid isn't done. Turns out she had more answers to give during the AMA in question.
Your responses about anything having to do with Becky is giving bitter ex-energy girl. No, it's giving I'm tired of the gaslighting and invalidation of the shit I went through, just because I'm Amberlynn Reid. Becky said your anxiety stopped you from going to the doctor. She really did love you. Haha, I did go to the doctor, and she knows I did. I went to the doctor in the same location as where my psychiatrist works. Anytime I went to a doctor, they ran tests, and then automatically just assumed the bleeding, white cell count, and pain was due to a UT or kidney stones. They were wrong. Always f***ing wrong. This is my story. My experience. The people invalidating it just for drama is f***ing disgusting. Imagine someone treating your mother or child like this. You all stay mad and stay pathetic. You're not being silenced. When you talk about someone, they can defend themselves. Nah, I'm being silenced. The minute I mention my ex, people either harass me about it, or tell me to shut up, or I'm called a liar, or they run to Becky. I can never share my experience about literally anything.
The one thing that is prevalent throughout all 3 of those particular questions, statements, queries to Amber is that in each response she gives, she is, well, attempting to make it into a listen and believe scenario, which after all these years on YouTube no one can do when it concerns her. Why? Because she lies through her teeth. She is well known for gaslighting, so of course she would use the term gaslighting, although as we now know, she doesn't really know what gaslighting is beyond the definition. She is known for exaggerating stories or having a distorted interpretation of the events. We know she's a hypochondriac. We know she will never listen to doctors. We know she changes doctors like she changes diets, like she changes what she's about to put in her mouth. Now with that, we're going to move on to something else that happened during this month. We could talk about the additional series that she did. We could talk about the fact that that psychiatrist she loves so much, yeah, that relationship turned out so well. The continued dumping of scratch art, the cleaning of the flat, the telling us what she's eating and her new weight goals and goals. She's on something here, folks. But no, we're going to focus on something else because it's hilarious. Amberlynn Reid had a minor accident and we need to talk about it.
I do have the clip, so I'm gonna play that right here. Oh, I'm just going for a walk. I don't know, my headspace is just not the greatest lately. And it's like I'm so confused. I was loving vlogging, but now I'm in a low. So it's like vlogging just, I don't know, I just feel so disconnected. So as you can tell, you hear me say, okay. And I remember saying that as a way of like, okay, bitch, you got this.
Now for the next part covering this entire debacle, I want to play a clip, a fairly lengthy one, from a research stream that I did in September talking about this, so I could help make this as good as possible on the Moistly Live channel.
Okay, so we need to talk.
The cankle! The fabled cankles! Oh my god, now I know what you're talking about. I've seen that word floating around Twitter for a while. I was so excited. Canklegate.
For me, struggling with bipolar is always going to be something. You know, the medicine can only...
Is Amber bipolar, just so I don't get that wrong? I don't know, has she been diagnosed or did she tell someone that she isn't and just get the medication?
Therapy can only do so much.
Yeah, because the onus is always on you. Of course that can only do so much. The actual repair work is on you.
And I've worked so hard,
Jade talks you in for a
especially in the last year with my stamina and my mobility. And
situation.
I can cook, I can clean, I can shower, I can do all these things that I wasn't able to do years ago. I wasn't able to do these things. And you guys know I have been, some of you say, smug about my mobility. Or that, like...
I mean, because we think sometimes you use a scooter. I don't like... She's probably going to get crying now.
I see people say things like, why is she so impressed with herself? Everyone can do these things.
Well, I would say you should be impressed that you've managed it, but what would actually be genuinely impressive is if you commit to it. Say you did a half mile, yeah? Like you think you've said you've done before, yeah? But you did that every single day. Yeah? Because then give it a month, you'd be able to take it up to 2/3 of a mile. Maybe within 3 months, you may even be able to do a whole mile without having to stop. That is progress, but you can only achieve it if you try. Right? If you actually do that, you'll get somewhere. Problem you've got is, it is impressive, but it's not impressive because you give up on it so quickly. Now I know things hurt, and that's the point. You don't go to the gym because it's fun. If you go to the gym and you're still smiling at the end of your session, you failed. If you start a session miserable and you end with a smile, you know you've put in the effort. Okay, this is what it's about. And when it comes to you going for a walk, people do mock you because you just do one walk and think that's it. You thought at one point walking around your apartment was it. Like, that's not a walk. That's Amy's Life Journey workout. That's Life by Jen workout, and her health is not doing well either these days. But Amy's Life Journey did that, and she did some stupid reps as well. Chris Chan did that crap as well with Coke cans in their boxes still. True commitment is pushing. And it's a battle, a genuine battle. You are never going to accomplish anything because you quit every single time. And you will continue to do that because honestly, you could actually do something. But again, you think the hard part is doing it. No, the hard part is doing it again. And again, and again, and again. You do that, you'll find this catharsis. Because you'll finally feel that accomplishment of actually putting in the effort. It'll cut into your valuable tea time, binge time, TV time, sleep time, wipey wipe time, and every other thing you have going on that's a thing, deal, situation, moment, all your buzzwords. But I'll be honest, you could actually do something if you make the time for it. And you are the type, and I've said this many times with other people, you make every excuse in the world for why you can't do something, but you can never give anyone one good reason why you can do something. And that's what sets you apart. Because while you are a success in an aspect, you are a failure in another. And that failure is to yourself, with yourself. Because you've never while you continually do remarkably selfish things, you never actually look after yourself. And you can't either. It's why you've gone from girlfriend to girlfriend to girlfriend to girlfriend to girlfriend to girlfriend to girlfriend. Suddenly magically in love and already moving with them. Because you can't look after yourself. So when people aren't impressed with you, they're not impressed, or if they are impressed, they're only impressed momentarily because you actually did something for a change. Not because you did anything that could impact you positively in the future. If you really want to accomplish anything, everything is hard. If it's easy, it's not worth doing. How's that? Now, after a little break in my TED Talk, Amber finished the month with a video called I'm Done. It is 4 minutes 42, and Amber got a fair amount of flack before she made this video. Not least because she was somehow magically bedbound over rolling her ankle, where she misplaced her feet in the dark on a spot where her feet shouldn't have been in the first place, which tells you not only how far apart her feet are, but also tells you how self-conscious she is when she goes for a walk that she goes at night when she can barely see.
Tomorrow will be 2 weeks since I fell. And I think a lot of you are like, why are you talking about this? You seem like you're milking it. I'm just trying to share my experience of someone who is 500 pounds breaking their ligaments. Just imagine walking as a skinny person on torn ligaments. That shit hurts. Now imagine adding a 500-pound brick on top of that.
It's a false equivalence, and you are milking this. The weight of the individual does not change how much it hurts. You are trying to make it seem like it's greater because of how much you weigh. That's not the case.
It is a whole other level of pain that I just...
How would you know? You started your channel at 360 pounds. I don't think you know what it's like for someone who's skinny. Hell, I've rolled my ankle before. I've landed on my ankle before as well. It's quite uncomfortable. Do you know what I did? I walked it off.
I have fought so hard to not be bedridden. Obviously, you guys don't see my day-to-day life in the sense of every single waking moment, but I use my bed for sleeping. But I do want to say one more thing, because this is just, it's become a lot. Here's the photo of where I fell. In this circle, there is like there is a hole, a gap, if you will, in between the grass and the sidewalk where I fell. Now I'm going to show you this clip of my shoe from when I was in the hospital. This is the shoe that went inside of that hole.
Your foot should have been nowhere near the edge, and you scuffed your trainer. Congratulations.
You guys asked for the real me with my real experiences as someone who is morbidly obese. You guys tell me to stop putting on a facade, just be myself. And when I am, you guys say I leave out details of certain situations, which means I'm lying. What? That doesn't make sense. So now I find myself kind of oversharing in a way, just to do the opposite of what you guys consider lying. So now that I'm oversharing, talking about my ankle, everything that happened surrounding it, you guys are calling me a liar. So which is it?
You're lying. So we're going to start the month of September off strong, with a tweet from Michael B. Petty. Foodie Beauty said ALR broke her cankle and started laughing. Amberlynn Reid is not happy about it. Underneath is an image of what looks like a community post. Yes, queen. Let's body shame like the classy queen you are, even though you preach about it constantly. Calling my ankle a cankle isn't going to make you any skinnier. You aren't better than me just because you weigh less. Remember that for next time you want to body shame someone. FYI, Amberlynn Reid spends the rest of this month trying to get back in Foodie Beauty's good books by constantly plugging her. It's just a shame really with these two feuding that they don't resolve it like everyone else and get in a boxing ring, although I'm not entirely convinced either of them could reach the other person. Oh, and just because she's trying to get back in Foodie Beauty's good books, here's a community post. Within it, you'll notice a read-along being promoted, because Amberlynn Reid wants to really get in touch with a book club community. Many of the comments are very positive because no doubt they have been regulated. Yes. Well, it didn't take long for Amber to pull a Foodie Beauty, her new senpai, by saying, "I'm sorry, but I'm done with the read-along. If I find another avenue to do it on, I will let you know, but I'm so beyond tired of things getting tainted for me. This was never a book club. Go back and look at the first post I even created about it. I called it a read-along, period. But so many people are having issues with how I am doing this even though there are 0 rules for a read-along. To be honest, most read-alongs aren't even as conversation-based as much as I have been. A few shared opinions, sure, but not daily posts about each chapter. But somehow, it still wasn't good enough, or I was doing something wrong, or trying to prove how smart I am, or I was being lazy with how I was doing the read-along, etc. Like what? This is simply something fun I thought we could do for people who are actually interested, but somehow people always seem to ruin everything for me no matter what it is. If you do not understand why I'm stopping this, be grateful that you never had people treat you this way or make you feel the way that I do now, to the point of not even being able to hold a damn read-along anymore because there is so much negative energy surrounding it. I am choosing my mental health first. The very thing that people always tell me to choose above all. I will be continuing to read the book. Probably finish it tonight, honestly. Blah blah blah. Reach out over Instagram. Basically, someone spoiled the end for her and Dumbledore did in fact die. And this triggered ALR to such a degree that she chose the Foodie Beauty and her own way forward and flip-flopped within less than a day. The way she was doing it I found faulty, because all she really had to do was set up a Discord server, and if people then trolled it, then she could have found another server and only had those that showed a keen interest in the books a path to that area. Rebuild the community that she's so desperate to have, rather than the community she has created through a lifetime of poor decisions on the internet. You've been on this platform longer than I have, and you have the reputation that quite frankly will never go away. Not until you get your stuff in order. During the month of September, Apathetic Facts got their channel back, and when asked about this on Instagram, Amber said, "I can strike them again and their channel would be gone. But mentally, it wasn't worth it, because I got relentlessly harassed by their supporters, which is also against TOS LMFAO. Another reason why is because if this got escalated to a courtroom, Amberlynn Reid couldn't afford that. Apathetic Facts had said, I swore she said last time I never ever wanted their entire channel shut down. With Apathetic Facts also saying, once again Amber has emailed me threatening to copyright strike me and also said, you're taking my views and money from me. When I informed her that there is now record of her abusing the system, she quickly said, well, I don't plan on copywriting you because the drama from it is pathetic lol. Now coincidentally my channel has been reported and I'm in another appeals process with YouTube. Even after having 3 videos reinstated, the ample editing and YouTube consistently finding in my favor, my channel is still up. One thing I've mentioned in almost every month this year is that Amber's views are nowhere near where she plateaued. 100k views guaranteed for every video she did, where she'd go out and eat food, torrid holes, and all of it seeming very proactive, yet she was gaining weight, or losing weight to gain weight, to lose weight, to gain weight again. It was a repetitive cycle. But now the views are 2/3 of that, sometimes only 1/3 of that. And yes, this is causing Amber to worry because she's got mouth to feed and clothes to try on once in a video for you to see, so then she can go back to wearing the exact same outfit-ish in every single video with the one pair of leggings she wears.
She went on her Instagram and she said that pretty much Becky didn't seem concerned, so therefore she was not concerned that she was bleeding for a bunch of years, and basically straight out said that her girlfriend, her current girlfriend, would have forced her to go to the gynecologist, Becky didn't, and blamed her not getting medical care for her cancer onto Becky. This is complete BS. You're an adult, a grown adult who has admitted many times that you knew that something was wrong, and now you're blaming it on your ex. My opinion is she is still raging at Becky for, number one, breaking up with her and stopping the course of true love of marriage.
That's a lie, you know it.
So this is required and relevant because we need the context, because Becky responded to Amberlynn's comments about this. Turns out Becky didn't really want to be involved, but Amber kept on dragging Becky's name, so Becky had no choice. I'm going to play more Karina's video because Becky clapped back by saying the following.
I'm not ignoring it. I've been very busy. This is very new. Then somebody had asked Becky, like, get a backbone, defend yourself. Maybe Rafe needs to step up since she has a backbone. I've been very busy. I will deal with it. Also, Rafe has nothing to do with this, or Amber. Then here are some comments that Becky has been liking. I mean, if she likes these comments, she obviously read them and agrees with them. Becky, please know this was not your fault that Amber didn't go to the doctor emergency room. That grown narcissistic woman child can spend $3,000 a month on takeout, can't get an Uber or a ride from someone else to the doctor or ER. Give me a break. Enough of her gaslighting. I'm sorry for what she is saying about you. Please do not blame yourself for anything she is saying. You went above and beyond for her, and she is not very nice for not only not appreciating what you did for her, but for putting blame on you. I'm happy you got away from her. Keep working on yourself and learn your worth. Keep in mind that this person said a bunch of really nasty things about Amber, and Becky liked it. So Becky agrees with certain negative comments about Amberlynn, right?
For the first half of September 2022, Amberlynn Reid was mostly bedbound, something she is all too familiar with. But this time, of course, because of Kenkelgate. She had announced via community post that she has created a new Instagram account and has made new YouTube content. She'll be starting a new series on her channel of hot topics, stories about her, tea about others, and advice from her, which includes sex stuff.
It was a tiny pink vibrator with a engagement ring wrapped around it. Like, it was like, say this is the vibrator, it was like on it, like that. And she looked at me and said, will you have sex with me for the rest of my life?
And everything and anything else. Nothing is off limits. So send her whatever you want to talk about. She will only be choosing topics and questions. So I guess some things are off limits if you're not going to do videos on them, I guess. Interesting. With someone pointing out, Amber, I just won't share my personal life and information anymore. You guys are too mean. Also, Amber, ask me anything. Nothing is off limits. Now, there's a bit of a gap between the last video you saw of Amberlynn Reid and the one you're about to see. One with a torrid haul, which is boring, but you're going to see a clip of it anyway.
Looks to me that this is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. I was hoping for something super tight, which is unfortunate. Looks to me that this is...
Whoa, hang on. Is that a 4? Looks like a 4. Is that the size? Do forgive me. For a second there, my eyes were attracted to this number here. And I thought maybe she was giving us the wrong size. And I look at it and think, fam, you could fit like 6 Omegons in that. Oh, is it 4XL? Oh, is that a shirt or a onesie? And the second one, episode 2 of So Raw.
Get it up for you guys, but your girl's tired. Is it true that you told Becky you wouldn't talk about her if she didn't talk about you? So this is actually the final time I will talk about Becky. I know I have said that before, but I'm just going to be as honest and candid as I can. No, this is not my choice. I couldn't care less if Becky spoke about me. She could speak about me in every single one of her videos and I would not care. She doesn't want me speaking about her, which fine, that's great. But
yeah, I'm cutting it off there because honestly, she didn't need to continue explaining the next 5 years or the past 5 years or blah blah blah. I actually don't care. Any excuse to then mention somebody who does not want to be mentioned that you keep mentioning, maybe not in video form on YouTube, but you certainly do on the Instagram. When people ask, you take the bait, you swing, and well, you get clapped back.
Because of my weight. Honestly, I do have a fear of losing viewers because of success. And that's really sad and I shouldn't feel that way. I shouldn't have this like heavy feeling on my chest of like, oh my God. So do I choose health or do I choose, you know, money because I need to put a roof over my head? I need to put food in my fur baby stomachs. So do I choose health or do I choose career?
Health, Amber. You choose health. I said this in last year's end of year review. I have in fact said it in Content Constables on you. If you changed, genuinely and truly changed, went on a weight loss journey and turned it all around, you would become a legitimate inspiration. You really would. But You refuse to put in the hard work required. You seem to have chalked up success as weight loss and keeping it off. You're right. But you've had a different kind of success, and you've also latched onto that, where by being bigger, by doing mukbangs, by sitting, eating, trying things on and not really accomplishing much, dunking on other people, you get views. Controversy does in fact yield a positive outcome for many people, but it is short-term gains. Long-term success, which is what many of your type do not think about, comes from a lot of hard work. And the only kind of hard work you could ever do would be the kind that genuinely changed you. Something which you are not capable of, because you are far too self-centered and selfish. You, at the end of that clip I showed, mentioned your fur babies. You actually ranted and raving about how important they were shortly after that little bit ended. But I cut it off because reality is, they don't require as much as you. Their vet bills are nowhere near as expensive as your repetitive hospital visits and many prescriptions. Now, next on the agenda, Amberlynn Reid went for Rich Lux. Rich Lux had said he was done with her, as far as supporting her goes. But she's decided, time to clap back, time to get some Lux. And Rich had a response for it.
Oh, girl, I'm back from the disability office with my Birkin bag. Eat it up, girl. The queen, Amberlynn Reid, came for me. I am not on disability. And you spreading false information like this is totally against TOS, Tacos of the South. Speculating on government-ish medical stuff and my finances is super low.
The only other things of note that happened during this month was the belief that perhaps Amber was going to take reaction channels to court, but she hasn't got the money for it, or the fact that she changed the video title from Thyroid Cancer Pancreatitis Side Effects Price and Ozempic blah 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 to Risk of Thyroid Cancer Pancreatitis Side Effects Price is Ozempic. Still working? We know the answer is no on that front, and we also know it costs an arm and a leg. You could use that money instead of wasting it on a shortcut, buying better, healthier food. I guess with all of that out of the way, we should now just jump straight in to October 2022.
This has been a ball like. Smash the like.
You guys have wanted it. You guys have been wondering, where's your next Lego? Got it. It's the globe. Wifey got me this. Okay, you guys, so I wanted to open her with you. So what I like to do is I like to get just like a little container. Opening the book. I am sorry to disappoint, but I'm actually not going to be starting it right now. I just wanted to organize it, get it ready.
3 things, yes. First, this is how Amberlynn started the month of October. Second, I could have sworn you were a flat earther. And third, you opening, organizing, and then quitting is your cycle in Lego form. During the month of October, there was some speculation that Amberlynn Reid and YP Wifey had broken up. I saw it via Just Saying, with many people saying, maybe, speculated, but she's featured in some vlogs with photo evidence of this, when Amberlynn did the video, I'm Gaining Weight plus CT Scan Update, which is the very video I just showed you. But then we also know Amberlynn Reid films things, well, a certain level of distance in time. So I have no idea when this is. On the 8th of October, Amberlynn Reid uploaded a video titled Traumatizing Hospital Experience. She does, by the way, continue building her Lego in this. But I want to focus on the part that was most replayed throughout the whole video.
So I just got out of the hospital. I woke up with really bad pain on my left side in my back, and when I breathe in, it's like this sharp pain and it feels horrible. I called my doctor just to make an appointment, but they said there's no available appointments, and with your symptoms you need to go to the ER. I ended up going to the ER. They're glad that I did, because when you have symptoms like that, especially because it felt like I was also short of breath, they gave me an EKG. As you can still see, I haven't taken any of them off. I also have some on my stomach, and thankfully the EKG was perfect. I also got my blood taken, which I have a whole story with that. Long story short, they're really glad that I went in because the symptoms are, scary, but since everything looked normal, turns out I just have like a strain.
Now this all seems standard stuff so far, but Amber had mentioned blood issues. This is where her own comments, as they usually do, call BS on her nonsense, by the way. While the hospital is glad she turned up, she really does sensationalize her own, presence. Like, her being there is a blessing. She is the Messiah.
I was walking and I had my IV, this situation type deal. It's not an IV anymore, but I had the IV, and all of a sudden, as I'm walking, I heard something fall and I didn't know what it was. And then I just felt this hot feeling go down my arms, and I looked and the freaking IV fell out of my arm and I was gushing blood all over me. Oh my god, it was all over the floor. And the way that they reacted was so calm, so collected. It was like blood was just everywhere.
Now, with all these health scares going on, I'm sure you all remember, not so long ago, Amberlynn Reid had a cancer scare. It was certainly a low moment for Amber, and a great big change happened in her life because of it. Not, wait though, the one thing you would have thought she might have prioritized to at least seem like she was trying to improve her health enough to give it a fair chance, her body that is. Well, something 200% worse than that has cropped up, everyone. It is totally not clickbait. Something bad happened. I'm scared. Uploaded on the 10th of October 2022.
Okay, so I just got out of the doctor. I was supposed to have my doctor's appointment tomorrow, but it became like kind of an emergency moment. Thankfully, I was able to see my doctor today. I'm gonna have to explain everything. I have other personal things going on in my life right now besides. I know, like, people have been saying I seem so unhappy and stuff. It's just, there's a lot of things that I'm not sharing. And she even said that. She's like, you know, show signs of possibly having a blood clot in your lungs, so they should have done that, but they didn't. And something actually was found in my x-ray, and for some reason at the hospital they didn't tell me. Part of my lung is collapsed.
No lie, the video, it took 15 minutes of an 18-minute video to get to that point. And I cropped out so much pointless bump about, oh, I don't share things with you, I don't tell you things, and moment things, and like, moment. Moving on to the next one, a CT scan, I got more bad news, admitted into hospital vlog from October the 16th, 2022.
Be forewarned, I know I've been emotional in probably the last like 100 videos of mine. No. I went to my CT scan and I was nervous, I was scared, you know, the whole bit. I was expecting a different outcome, but while I was there, they noticed I was short of breath by walking just like a short distance. And while they did the CT scan, they didn't automatically notice something wrong with my lungs. They actually called the radiologist. I was admitted to the ER. I talked to like the actual doctor. That's when things went downhill for sure. A lot of cancer talk.
On the exact same day, Amberlynn Reid also uploaded I was misdiagnosed again. But I'm going to quickly show you something else that I found amusing. Courtesy of Chips Ahoy Lynn, the ad. Underneath Amberlynn Reid, July 2016, Destiny's 21st birthday surprise and eating healthy. Shape your fupa. That seems appropriate. I know what it really means in this context, but haha, lol.
All I can do is stay as positive as I can. I know there's people out there going through worse things, but right now this is my worst. Right now it feels pretty rough. I just need a little bit of like kindness and patience and gentleness, really.
If you want gentleness and kindness, I'd highly recommend not being on the internet, but this wasn't why I showed you the I was misdiagnosed again video. There was another clip worth looking at.
So I just got out of my doctor's appointment. Got the paperwork to go to the radiology and schedule a CT scan of my actual chest because last time it was just lungs. I don't even remember what I was saying, but I just want to say thank you guys so much for just like the kind words and the messages. Like, it means the world to me because more positivity, more good vibes to my body, and I know that stress equals stress on the body, and I don't want that. We need to like treat my body well.
We could have spoken about how the ER had suggested it could have been one thing, tests proved it was another thing, which was a different clip entirely, but I just wanted to focus on your overinflated ego. There is one more video I'd like to show you, but also a community post. I'm going to go to the community post first though, because the video, well, I don't need to play any clips from it. Add more uniqueness. Perfectly said. That is all I want. Taking my videos only hours after I upload it every single time, editing out a few words and editing in a few words is not allowed on YouTube. Before I strike bottle, I made sure to see if what I was doing was in good faith, and it was. Bottle is the second person I've ever striked in the 10 years I've been on YouTube. I have learned more about YouTube striking, etc. since last time, and I'm not going to strike Bottle again because I do not want their channel to be taken down, and I don't want them to stop making the content they enjoy. I simply want them to make their videos more unique. Create something that isn't just my newest video over again with a few extra clips thrown in or out. It isn't fair and it isn't fair use, period. One of the main bones of contention with this is, you striked without reaching out. We creators have a facility to do such a thing, in fact. You can send messages. Creators can be reached out to via DM. If you are reasonable in your approach and ask with kindness in your heart, being the empath you are, that shouldn't be overly difficult. You might find people like Bottle might well have given some consideration to altering the video so it falls within fair use. You silly bitch. The final video is called Nikocado Caused Me to Get Hate, Getting Back with My Ex and Meeting Feline. And to be honest, the most replayed part is this.
You know what I would ask?
What?
Are you being genuine?
Are you being genuine?
Like, are these your actual thoughts? Or are you also putting a character on?
Okay.
Like, I know you have your troll in.
Mm-hmm.
You put your character on. You do your thing. And then sometimes you're authentic.
Mm-hmm.
Just genuinely you.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the same with them?
Right. So I asked Feline this question because I was curious what she would ask, because she knows all about the reaction channels, trust me. And her question is, are you guys genuine? Because she has heard me watch reaction channels in the past, and sometimes they just sound dumb. It's like, are you really that dumb? Like, do you actually think this way? Or is it like a character because you know that this is what your channel is? Like, are you that nitpicky because you have to be? Are you that extra because you have to be?
I feel like I've missed something here in this month. If I remember, I'll put it in November. So opening the month of November, we go to a community post from Amberlynn Reid. Regarding the heart attack situation during my live stream, I was being ironic in the way that reaction channels are, especially Pulpy Syntax, to give an example, where they talked very negatively about my lung issues and health issues in general. I constantly talk about sympathy and how reaction channels have zero sympathy for me and Chantel. I was purposely doing it, purposely acting like them. That's why I sat there silent and said I was looking for my sympathy bone. The way that I assume people would react towards reaction channels is the very way people came out and stuck up for Narc Alert. I'm glad that people did stick up for her. It's a shame that people lose that respect when it is reaction channels doing the whole, oh well, about her lung, it's her fault, or making jokes about my dangling lung, or throwing cancer in my face. The list can go on. I, without a doubt, should have made my point in a different way because, trust me, I am not that cold-hearted bitch. I wanted to act like the very people who react to me daily, and I did it in poor taste, and at someone else's expense. And for that, I'm sorry. I disagree with what I did, and how I let my pride to prove a point distract me from who I really am, and how I truly wanted to respond. I think the main issue with you responding to any of them is the fact that they will instantly play victim if you clap back hard enough. But also because you've clapped back, you've given them free content. Congratulations. There was a fair amount of controversy concerning the Happy Halloween livestream where she made the heart attack remarks, which was, let's face it, with no level of irony considering she has gone on about her own health concerns for a while now. October was littered with hospital videos. This in turn, while she's preaching about being kind, was responded to by many people. She herself responded to some of them, Karina Kaboom being a more notable one, Narc Alert getting, as you know, mentioned there, having responded as well, trying to decide whether or not she's a narcissist or not. The answer is yes. You don't need a video to work that out. So rather than go through that where people had legitimate gripes and others just latched onto it because cha-ching, we're going to skip ahead to a come to Walmart with me haul and keto update, because apparently she's not on Ozempic anymore. Ozempic? Bic. Ozem whatever, it's stupidly expensive. Pick. Yeah. Now she's done, as everyone knows, all the main diets before, so I'm sure it'll work this time.
We have some pork chop moment, a broccoli moment, some eggs with a little bit of cheese moment. I just want to say, keto is honestly, I actually like it. I wasn't expecting to, but it's not as hard as I thought it was going to be. And I noticed that it's actually making me like meat more.
Couple things of interest that I noticed. Firstly, you only seem to chew on one side of your mouth. Second, I thought you were allergic to eggs. And third, I thought you were vegetarian.
You can't be keto and be vegetarian. You can, but it's hard.
Well, that certainly explains why you're not doing it then. Now, you do go on to explain why you do keto, why it's so important to you, and why you would like to be vegetarian. None of which is remotely interesting to me. So instead, we'll move on. What you now see on the screen is one of those weird little trend videos where you look as ugly as you can and then make yourself have a nice little glow-up moment, right? So Amber's done this, but I had to remove the audio because music. I know, peak excitement, but I just wanted to throw it in there as a nice little moment. Sorry, moment. Before we move on to the next bit. Actually, we're not done with that clip, because there's more of them. I'll show you just one though. The reason why is because I want to latch on to a point. If you have to put that much effort to think you look good, it speaks volumes about how ugly you are to begin with. Was that harsh? Now, rather amusingly, Amberlynn Reid was actually banned from TikTok for making fun of herself. I would want to refrain from laughing, but I'm going to laugh anyway. Ha ha ha. I know. That's the most energy you've ever seen come out of my mouth.
Amberlynn is trashing her ex, Becky. I think we should all have a moment of silence for Amberlynn trashing her ex, Becky. It's so shocking. So after harassing Becky for over a year, Becky actually making a response video to her and promising to never talk about Becky again. And she's also trashing Foodie Booty's marriage. Now look, for Amberlynn Reid, who literally invited a stranger off the internet to live with her while she was still living with her ex, Becky, it's amazing to me. So she says, Feline, my girlfriend, Venmos me all the money for the bills and the rent. You know, she pays her way. She gives me, half the money for everything. And Amber says, well, I'm not used to having anyone pay her way. She immediately follows that up by saying, no shade. Your ex-partner got into a terrible car crash. Becky, I talked about this. Becky got into a terrible car crash on Halloween night. To know the person totaled their car, to know they're going through a hard time because Becky keeps posting about it, and still try to drag her down. Amazing. Just leave Becky alone. I feel so redundant. How many times have we all said it? Leave Becky alone.
Earlier I mentioned Ozempic and why Amber's on keto. Well, not why, but she is. While also being allergic to eggs. On the 13th of November 2022, Amber uploaded a video titled The Truth About Ozempic, Days 2 to 3 Vlog.
Okay guys, so I want to talk a little bit about Ozempic. I feel like in my live stream, I was kind of blindsided. I wanted to talk about it when I was ready. A lot of people were asking in the chat, which I understand because I stopped talking about it. When I first started Ozempic, which is something my doctor recommended to me because I had heard so many good things about Ozempic. She, obviously she knows my health and my health history. I was diagnosed with gallstones from rapid weight loss. I lost 89 pounds. I know those famous 89 lbs. Rapid weight loss is considered 1 to 2 pounds a week. So I got gallstones from rapid weight loss. So anyways, she was like, do you show any more signs of it? Like, when's the last time you had an attack? And it made me realize, wow, I actually haven't had a gallstone attack. I've had maybe like 1 or 2 in the last 3+ years, she was like, let's put you on Ozempic. And if you ever feel like you have any, gallbladder problems, you need to tell me and you're gonna have to get off of it. And I had a moment where I was like, can we just give it one more chance? Can we wait until I'm in pain one more time?
Yes, she prattles. Basically, she came off Ozempic because of a gallstone attack. I actually thought that was made up until I looked it up. It's a thing. Alright, good to know. So we spoke about keto. Well, some things never change. Because on the 16th of November 2022, while dated on, I believe, the 6th of November 2022, Amberlynn Reid quit keto because it is bad for her gallstones. But it's okay, everyone. In that video, eating a packet of Chips Ahoy, gallons of ice cream, and takeout every single moment you can have it is totally fine. I wish you would just get to the point, Amber, where you say, I'm not on a weight loss journey anymore. I am just me. I'm just going to continually yo-yo bounce, cycle, and rinse, repeat all of it for your viewing pleasure. So I can buy more crap from Torrid online because going to the shops is so pre-COVID. And why get a mobility scooter when someone can scoot it to my home?
I want to say like a 6-hour period, but still. And I kind of regret ever doing it, to be honest. But I had a vlog up where I was like trying keto ice cream, and I am not addicted to ice cream. I'm addicted to food. Like, I am ordering out all of my food. Might be fat, folks, but I just wanted to come on here while I'm editing this and let you guys know that
After that, you prattle on for a fair bit, but somewhere in there, and I couldn't find it, you mentioned not doing keto anymore. The reason why is because Amberlynn Reid partook in an activity called word vomit. The video is quite long. Of course she did. Here's some response word vomit for you. You speak about how people need to listen. Words need to be heard. People need to understand your struggle. Actions speak louder than words. Your actions for the many years you've been on YouTube are indicative of somebody who doesn't want to be heard. You want people to just simply accept. That's all you want. That is not how the internet works, and it does not work with the community that you have cultivated. It has never been that way, and will never be that way. Why? Because you will not make a change from the cycle. You won't try because anything that's difficult, you won't do. If your gallstones need removing, have them removed. Go to the vets and have the operation. It isn't rocket science. You blew so much on Ozempic, pointlessly, and accomplished nothing. It is of course your life to do with what you want, but to expect or demand that everyone respect your decisions when you are showing just how useless you can be in this situation, and then fobbing it off on an addiction or a disorder, or these random moments you can't help but bleat on about while you are binging on things. But it's binge eating disorder, everyone. Binge eating disorder is indicative of someone who makes every excuse for why they can't do something and fails to give so much as one good reason why they can do something. Now, we've reached a cutoff point where I can't add too much more to this video because I have to upload it at some point near the end of November because YouTube. There is a lie Amber was caught out in. She and Wifey are both responsible in this respect concerning her glorifying an ED on TikTok, which is why she got banned in the first place. I said making fun of herself, sure, let's call it that. As far as what happened goes, you can't keep skirting around this and pretending nothing happened or that what you did was totally fine. People on TikTok and the TOS is much more sensitive. Now I'm going to finish with one last video from Amber. The video is titled, I'm over £500 again, but the best part is the date at the start of the video, November the 8th, 2022. Are you pre-recording content for Christmas so you can make sure you pay your taxes on time? Or are you just building up a stockpile because you also know December's the best month? Or are you this lazy now?
isn't she going to therapy? Like, it's clearly not working. It's a lot to unpack. There's a lot going on. It does not happen overnight. It does not happen in a couple months. You know, 31 years of damage is hard to repair. So for my weigh-in, 502.4. So that means I'm very, very sad to say I am back in the 500s.
Okay, so many of you will have watched the full video from last year in 2 parts. I put it together because I wanted to make one complete edition, but I feel it only right to include December, or Vlogmas as Amberlynn Reid calls it. This is the one time of year where she will have spent last year stockpiling content for that year to then make it easier on her in December to not do anything at all, which is typical of Amberlynn Reid. Her views skyrocket during this time because of the amount of content she puts out. So we are going to look at some of her greatest hits from the month of December. So we're going to begin with Vlogmas Day 1, decorating our Christmas tree and weight loss surgery update. Amber is still latched onto this idea that the only way to really fix her, to give her the future that she genuinely wants, needs, craves, desires, and apparently deserves, is one where all corners are cut, rather than simply leading by example and being what her channel was meant to be in the first place, based on her very first video, a weight loss journey. Or perhaps more of one that is a bit more of a success than it ever has been to date, where you are, and were at one point, almost double what you started at.
I think her love language is gift giving. It says December 1st on there because she got her dates a little wrong. Today's November 30th. Oh my god, this is an advent calendar? Alright, I want you guys to be with me for hanging my first one right here. Bam. Vlog yesterday, I thought I was getting sick because my throat was hurting. I have some like pus pockets. Wait, do I still? Hold on. Let's look. This is my mirror. Oh. Okay. My pus pockets have gotten better.
At this point, I'm more inclined to believe that Amberlynn is her own doctor than an actual licensed doctor, physician, magician perhaps, is caring for her needs. But as you saw, Amberlynn Reid was getting into the festive spirit. Let's see how that carries on with further updates and weight loss related content during the month of Vlogmas. Oh, and she claimed that was filmed on November 30th. No one believes that. We know she films 2 weeks in hand.
Hey guys, welcome to Vlogmas Day 4. I hate this little like white stuff that's in the, I don't know. So this is a gift wrap organizer.
Man, we have a lot of wrapping paper.
So now those are just gonna go in this. Tell me that's not brilliant.
Even Amberlynn Reid's hoarding requires organization, because then it doesn't look like hoarding, everyone. It is brilliant.
What should I do with it for now?
I guess just leave it in the hallway for now. Here's your gift. It's the thing I told you about.
Yes. Wait.
So the reason for this, you're using it right now. Oh my god.
I'm using this right this second.
The reason for this is because you like to exercise and all that good stuff. And this supposedly really works.
There is something ironic about Amberlynn Reid giving somebody else aids for working out.
You guys, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Wait, babe, no, I actually can't breathe on the line. Babe, I think I'm dying. Wait, we're gonna have to get this off. We're gonna have to get this off. You guys, I can't. It hurts so bad.
I mean, at least she tried, right? There's that. Let's move on to day 9. Full day of eating and Christmas shopping.
Make up a chili with Amberlynn Reid. Also have some cornbread, which we also made last night. And I like to add a little bit of honey to it. Just a smidgel. Neither of us like honey. So I just sprinkle a little bit of, see how slow it comes out? Oh my god. So you don't do too much.
It's still quite strange to me that Amberlynn Reid really has, to an extent, ditched the mukbang aspect that made her so big. Without it, she's even duller than she ordinarily was when she was doing the mukbangs and being a massive hypocrite.
Alright you guys, it is time for me to open a giftie. Today, we are in a gift baggy situation type deal. So I'm addicted.
That's 76.
This is 76. Ugh. I can't even talk. This is 76 scratchers.
76, baby.
That is the perfect gift for somebody who is addicted to everything. If she finds something interesting, she will buy everything she can of it to sate that addiction. This all derived from people on TikTok who do this for a living. Not even a joke, people actually do.
And I know people are about to say, you're gonna get addicted to gambling. Trust me, I don't have that in me. I just don't have that addiction. I don't have that want.
Yeah, that smells like BS.
We got Jimmy John's again, the sandwich. I got 2 cookies. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, J, K, L, M, N, O, P.
Something immediately noticeable if you don't have ad block is that during the month of December, Amberlynn uploaded very long comparative to the rest of the year videos. This, if you don't know, is so that she can insert at least 8 to 10 ads once every 3 to 4 minutes in those videos. It should come as no surprise to you then that Amberlynn's content, for the most part, is fully monetized. So let us now move on to another day of the year. Picked at random, let's go with day 12, eating octopus balls. I feel attacked.
Wait, like they're like some balls?
No, baby, it's octopus that's formed into the shape of balls.
Oh! Okay, I thought it was octopus like some balls. Okay, so it's octopus that's shaped into a ball. Okay. So this is what it looks like. I'm like genuinely... Actually, baby, I don't know if I can.
Baby, it's good.
It's making me feel sick smelling it. I just almost puked.
Pussy. Let's move on to day 15. I quit Weight Watchers. How many times have you quit this now, Amber? Let's be honest at this point. Don't do any of them. You just be you. The very best version of you that WebMD can make.
So another thing I want to talk about is people have been noticing that like my breathing is like getting worse or whatever. So as you guys know, I have lipedema. I also have a little bit of lymphedema. When they get more swollen, my breathing becomes worse and more labored.
And it has nothing to do with the fact that Amberlynn is practically apartment bound, barely walking because of cankle gates. It's 100% nothing to do with the lack of movement, exercise, and vast consumption of food off camera. That she really wants to put on camera, let's face it here, she knows it gets more money, but she won't because she can't handle the haters. Oh.
I'm super swollen. My legs are very swollen and hard. I haven't wanted to speak about it, but I have been binging really bad at night. My binging this last week is the worst it's been. I was on Weight Watchers, which I'm no longer doing. I'm gonna go back to how I lost weight in the first place. But there was no Monday weigh-in because I know that I've gained weight.
This imagine my shock meme should aptly convey my surprise. That not only did you start binging when you're on your journey to try and cut corners with surgery, it should adequately convey the lack of surprise on my part that you binge because you're Amberlynn Reid, your cycle is consistent, and of course the surprise because you quit Weight Watchers because Amberlynn knows what's best for Amberlynn. So next we're going to go to day 20. My audience likes to see me eat. Yay.
So my eye is irritated. I don't know if you guys can see the redness. So there's a long one, a medium one, and a short one. I think I'm gonna do daily note from Feline. Thank you for loving me despite my many faults. Baby! Yes! We do need to have a little cleaning moment.
When one looks back on the year of 2022 for Amberlynn Reid, snoozing seems to be the most appropriate response. Amber is putting out consistent content, but that consistent content doesn't have any substance to it. And I do believe within this video, we have adequately conveyed that. Amberlynn is an interesting person because of how desperate she is to get to a conclusion that involves cutting many corners. But the reality of what she is doing, away from the cameras, shows that she is not learning, she is not trying to be better. She is desperately trying to be something she is not ready to be, and that is simply a better person. December was what you saw, but 25 videos of that. Unpacking food, talking about books she never actually read, going through gifts every single day with herself and her partner, addressing that every single day, and you can check the videos if you wish, something else was wrong with her and she'd attribute it to a problem that wasn't the fact that she's super morbidly obese, along with regurgitating the same cycled, nonsensical tripe every single day. If ever there was a malady on this planet that didn't exist, chances are Amberlynn will claim it does because she has it. I thought the word was Munchausen's, but apparently it's Amberlynn Reid. When it comes to the year of 2022 for Amberlynn Reid, I took the liberty of asking Twitter, with the prevailing theme being boring. A regurgitation of every cycle ever done before, never learning lessons, simply being told to do something and doing the opposite, blaming it on any disorder that she can conjure, things that aren't even real, machinations of her own mind and arsehole. Desperately trying to cling on to some form of popularity akin to what she used to have because her views are starting to go down. She plateaued and is now on the downward slide. So manufacturing drama is her go-to. Lying another. Trying to get in with people like Chantel after falling out, but throwing her name about because Chantel's name generates enough controversy and attention that perhaps more people will go her way. Amber is exploring alternative means of making money and still trying to keep her relationship, where she even doxed her girlfriend anyway, a complete secret. As far as productivity goes, she has been her least active this year, and I don't see it changing next year unless she finds a way to be more energetic or make an actual change in her life for the benefit of herself, which will never happen. To those that have watched both parts and made it this far, thank you. The aggravation that one and another, thank you by the way, Leona, we went through to do this was a ball ache. I hope you enjoyed, smash the like, and we might even do one next year.